Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Crash Content Podcast. My name is Ryan, I have psychic powers, and my dad is a telephone. With me today are people. Let's see. How you doing, JNES? Hey.
Hi.
We have Kyrie Ephler.
Yoshi is a top tier.
We've got Martin. Hey, Martin.
I said hi.
Oh, it didn't pick up.
Say it again.
And we have Marowak, son of Marowak.
Hi, I'm contemplating moving out.
Nice. We have Alex, who looks to be currently muted. Oh, okay.
Hi. I didn't think of anything clever to say. I'm here.
We have Cristiano, or WarMagic.
Rollback netcode melee, let's go.
And today we also have a guest in the form of Benrodia.
Hey, no space, lowercase.
There you have it.
Don't smash while smashed. That's my advice for today.
So,
Soft disagree.
Gaming strategy.
I do so.
So
Paying the price.
So we are going to talk about Super Smash Brothers. I figured this whole podcast is basically just going to be like our experiences with the game and stuff and the series. But I figure we can just sort of give like a brief synopsis of your experience, like round robin style, and then I'll do like I have a little like brief history thing that I want to do, and then we could just shoot shit from there because I don't know what we're gonna do after that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just want to point out
it is
real
gonna
quick,
be more
like,
freeform.
this is probably like the least required Crash content subject because I'm pretty sure like 80% of people who watch any of our videos like know exactly what Smash is.
Right, and I also think that
Yep.
there isn't like necessarily one point to really like hone in on. Like we all can just kind of discuss the games and whatnot. So anyways, if we want to just go into the order that we did the names in, so we can start with JNES. Just sort of give us a brief little telling of your experience with Smash Bros.
Yeah, so we all know like the first game in the series was just Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. So I just happened to get it either for birthday or Christmas present. And it's just mostly as a fun gaming experience with my dad. As I played more of the game, I got better at beating him, and it's just like a friendly ritual between me and him as we play throughout the 64, and then the sequel Super Smash Bros. Melee, and then Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and then we didn't play as much in Wii U, and we occasionally play it every once in a while on the Nintendo Switch. And there's actually two sides to Super Smash. There's the casual side where you just have fun knocking each other off the stage, and it's competitive where you train to figure out the meta. I didn't really knew there was a competitive scene going on until late into the Wii U, where I started hearing about the controversies of the Smash Bros. Competitive scene, but yeah, but I did get into watching a few tournaments, especially when the Switch hit and there's these new tournaments coming up. So that's basically like a brief synopsis of my experience with Smash.
I don't think I actually ever played 64 or Melee. Like at least while I was starting out, I've played them since then. But I think I started with Brawl on the Wii actually. And that was a game that it was just very casual, which is like I think how Brawl is in general. But I just remember like having friends over from school and like we would play Brawl and mess around, and then I'd play the story mode on my own, which is really fun actually. And I felt like I got pretty all right, pretty good with all the characters, but I'm however the fuck old I am at the time, so actually trash. And I never played the Wii U Smash either, Smash 4, right?
Yep.
And it wasn't until Ultimate came out on the Switch that a friend of mine got it, and we started playing just like as a thing that we do when we hang out. And that's when I actually got into like doing, all right, 3 stock, 5 minutes, no items. You have a GameCube controller, like make sure up is not jump, all that shit. And it was really, really, really fucking fun. And for like the past, what, year and a half, 2 years, something since Ultimate's been out, I've been playing with a lot of my friends, and then my roommate I just moved in with he's really fucking good. And I don't know, I really enjoy competitive Ultimate, you know? Go Yoshi, go Zelda. There you go.
Martin.
I got into Smash and like after I transferred from community college to 4-year university college, I had like watched Narcissa, previously Cosmo Wright, had made a video like in 2013, or maybe it was it was 2013, it was showing off some of the tech skill in the game, and I still had this is competitive. I should start with a kid. When I was a kid, I went to a birthday party in 4th grade, and somebody had Smash, and I remember picking, like, we just played 4 people on the map, just free for alls forever, all night. It was a really fun game.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like, I just remember playing Jigglypuff and just like pounding, and somehow that was beating everybody. And it was just like pounding, and then just and using like, I guess I just mashing the A button in the air as Puff. All of those moves are good. So like, that was that was the first time I played. But then later on, I got a GameCube, and I would pick Link as a kid, and I would like fight the level 9 computers, and I thought that was how you played, and which was basically just like throwing projectiles, boxing them out as they run towards you, and then like I would use Link's down air, and which is very, very bad recoil, or I mean, even if you L cancel, it's super slow. But that's what I would do. I would just like throw boomerang, and then like charge forward smash, and then down air, and then I played some real people and lost, and then I never played again for a while. And this was like, I was maybe 14 or something, or 13 the last time I actually played Melee, like before, like 6 or 7 years. I guess it was 7 years later that I was 20 in college when I actually just saw an email. And this was about a year after I did watch Evo the previous year, just because I was like a Twitch person. I watched Twitch from when it became Twitch. I didn't watch just on TV, but once it turned into Twitch, I watched it about from that time. And then, so I knew like about the competitive scene a little bit, or at least I'd heard of it. And then I got an email for like the fighting game club at the college, and then I went there, and that's how I met Alex. Actually, and Alex was there, and 2 other guys, or Brad and James, I believe. It was just them, and from there, I just like went to tournaments and stuff and got into the game. That was the start. Yeah.
So, for me, I have no quandary with Smash, but I really could care less about it. I'm not so much. It's not that I'm against Nintendo or anything. It's just, I mean, my favorite franchise is Pokemon, so it's like, what better place to play a fighting game? But I actually wanted to like ask quick, who here? I forget who here was in the original Radcon meetup Discord chat.
All of us, right?
All of us.
I think so,
Okay.
yeah.
All of us.
Okay, so do all of you remember when they were doing the voting for which game the PCP would play for like that one night?
Yes.
It was like this.
I know.
It was
I know
like
what
this
you're talking
competition between Scott Pilgrim and Super Smash Brothers, and people may remember me as being the guy who was very vocally upset that Smash was winning by like 1 vote, and that was me for like 7 hours.
I remember the
I mean-
controversy. I remember hearing
That's
about
like a
this.
7-hour filibuster.
Honestly,
Yes.
I'd rather watch the PCP play Scott Pilgrim than play Smash.
Yeah.
Well, they did both, so
I don't know what Scott Pilgrim is, other than there was like a movie, but I don't know what it is.
it's a comic
the
book
video game.
about
Yeah.
video games, and then they made a movie, and then they made a video game based on that movie.
It's
It's like a
actually,
beat 'em up.
a video game based off both the game and the comic, because it's stylized the way the comic was made, but it follows the movie to a it follows the movie closer than it does the comic. It's a much more simple story. But yeah, like I said, you might remember me. Anyone listening, I'm that guy who was talking like a fucking wrestling heavyweight champion or something, saying like, "You bastards think you know what you want, but you don't know what you want. You want fucking Scott Pilgrim. You don't want that pussy shit Smash Brothers Brawl or whatever it is you play. You don't even know what taste is. I am the tastiest motherfucker, and you will want Scott Pilgrim because that's a cherry pie wrapped in a biscuit."
I agree,
yeah.
but both are great. But
I was just like, no, I do not want to watch. Like, if I had, at the time, we really didn't know what they were gonna do. Like, were they just gonna play like every game in their catalog? Yeah, is eventually what happened. But at the time, I was like, no, if this is my chance, this is my only chance for me to watch them play Scott Pilgrim. It must be now. And when I lost, when Scott Pilgrim lost by like literally one vote, I was devastated. I was like, no, please don't do it. But yeah, that's me. Everything else about me is irrelevant, other than I only play Pokemon. I don't play any other character except any of the like 7 or 6, 8 Pokemon.
There's like 12 Pokemon.
Well, I play them all, and I haven't mastered any of them.
Alex?
I like how your Smash experience is making streamers not play Smash. That's pretty good. As for me, I played Melee a lot. Basically didn't play the other ones. Never got good, but I played it a lot. So, meme time. I was in a Blockbuster video in like 2005 when I was probably about 10 years old. Melee was on the shelf. Hey, Mom, can we get this cool-looking game? To my shock, she said yes. Played it with friends. One of my friends like was aware of competitive Melee, which at the time was like Kin versus Bomb Soldier was kind of the relevant thing. So we like learned how to wave dash. He had more unrestricted internet access than me, so it was like this one friend of mine was learning stuff and then teaching it to the rest of us. But it was just a bunch of like 11, 12-year-old kids playing each other. We didn't improve. We formed bad habits and did that for years. In high school, I ran tournaments in my local youth group, and my mediocre friend group were the only people there who played somewhat thinking it was competitive. I went to college. I TO'd in college, a series called Mid-State Massacre. There were 6 of them. It was okay. Some of them were pretty well run. Some of them were reasonably big, like over 50 unique entrants. After I started TOing, the documentary came out and PM became big, and I was trying to run Melee and PM. The first one actually had Brawl because Brawl was still alive. But I dropped PM for the last one. I wish I'd done it sooner just because the crossover entry was insane. It was making the events run long, run late, and the PM scene was big enough at that time that they like didn't need me, I guess. But I kept it around, I think, too long to the detriment of that series. But overall, it was all right. I mained Falco. I was really mediocre for just years. Mostly like 2011 to 2016 was when I went to tournaments. After I pretty much stopped, I entered a bi-weekly here on a regular basis with Bowser for a couple months. So I enjoy playing Bowser in Melee as well. Waiting for Brawl was a lot of fun. They had the website where they announced a new thing every week. We were excited for it. I was in middle school. It came out, and we were no longer excited for it. And went back to Melee. So that's what I got.
Cristiano?
Okay. So, like many of us, I first started playing Smash when I was a young lad. I played some Melee with my neighbors, and those are the days when I did not give a shit about anything. I just played Mr. Game & Watch and pressed hammer. I did the hammer move, and it was pretty sweet when I got that 9. Later, Brawl came out, and me not knowing anything about competitive scene, and all my friends were like, "Oh, dude, Brawl on the Wii. We all have a Wii. Play Brawl." And I played Brawl for like many years, and it was a mistake. Should have played Melee. later I learned the error of my ways, and I played Melee for like a hot summer, and then Smash 4 came out, and I started playing Smash 4. Smash 4 is the first time I kind of like started caring about being good somewhat, and I learned how to be okay at Smash Bros. This transitioned into college. Lots of good players at my college, so I started playing a lot better, and then Smash Ultimate came out. That was hype, and I still enjoy playing Smash Ultimate. I did go to weeklies, but now it's COVID, and I don't want to go to a weekly because I don't want to die.
Are there weeklies? Are they going on?
There are currently
Yeah,
weeklies
I've been hearing
happening,
about that.
and
What state?
it was so sad. Well, in the lab weekly in PA is online, not online. It's in person. It's happening. I got to watch. It was on stream last Friday, and I got to watch like some of the cringy, like, cause like only like one of the good players showed up, and everyone else was like some kind of unknown people. So I got to watch Juice like body a bunch of people with a mask on. It was pretty weird.
Man, I guess if everyone wears a mask and you don't share controllers at all, it could be okay, but like
it's still sketch because the actual venue is like a hot box of like
It's extra steamy.
it's pretty sketch.
get those
Yeah, I
gamer
wonder
breath
if they're gonna
clouds.
have EXO just exclusively online now.
And then yeah, but like I understand the urge because online Smash is like killing the scene slowly because online Smash is terrible. Terrible.
Didn't something happen with Melee where they were like making a big deal out of it recently? Something happened with net play.
So recently Melee there's like some modded version of Melee on the PC with official GGPO rollback netcode, which means it has really good netcode. That's basically all it means. So like the Melee now has really good online multiplayer.
Because I played net play before, I don't know how this is different, and I heard there's like automatic.
Net play is shit.
Let me talk about this for a minute because I've barely tried NetPlay, but this new one, when I heard what it was, I could not believe that this was possible. What rollback is, you play with like a 2-frame delay or so, which is, fine, not bad. And then the game predicts what button you're going to hit. And if it's wrong, then it rolls the game back to whatever the last frame that it was correct on was and then builds from there. And apparently that's way better. And it blows my mind that that's possible. But it's like Leffen is playing people on the West Coast and it's like it works. I don't know. I don't get it.
That was how like maybe I'm totally wrong maybe, but like I think that's how like FPSs and stuff work maybe. I don't know. I actually know nothing about
Depends.
Well, I think it's different
I don't
too
know
because it's
anything
like
about
an
netcodes
emulator.
either.
All I know is that in my apartment we have gigabit speed Ethernet, or just internet in general, and online Ultimate is still unplayable.
Yeah.
Oh, at that point, it's everyone else's fault.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
We
You're only
weren't
as good as
sure where the
other guys
bottleneck
left.
was. Yeah.
The best thing about rollback is that it's a pretty smooth experience for like even if you have shitty internet, it's still like a lot smoother than like most other netcode systems.
Because I've heard it, since it's not delay based, like your control over your character will never glitch out. Your opponent might glitch out a little bit, but you won't. Like one of your inputs won't get eaten.
This is how like FPSs worked, where it's like other people would start glitching out if the connection was bad because it first you see your perspective first and then it syncs later or something, and that's like what. Because like in Halo 3, like if it was laggy, the other person would start like sort of teleporting. But you would never feel like your movement was off.
And it also supports stuff like you can, some systems allow you to increase your local frame delay. So like let's say you have a bad connection, you could increase like that 2-frame delay to like a 4-frame delay. and like that will give you an overall like more lag experience, but it'll sync it up better. Like it's just the thing about GGPO rollback netcode is that it's an open source like library for this netcode that any game could theoretically implement, and it's proven to be really good netcode. So the fact that like so many companies have like Smash Ultimate has really shitty netcode is
Open
frustrating.
source, dude. No,
It's like
no way a company is open source.
It's open. It's like open. You could get it for free. Like many indie games use it because you get it for free. Freaking. That's why Evo this year is Skullgirls and them fighting hoods, like because they have GGPO rollback netcode and it's usable.
It's gonna be a shit show. I can't wait. There's gonna be drama.
Can't wait
More
to see
so than
Sonic
usual.
Fox win yet another tournament.
All right, GGP, whatever is fun. We gotta get going.
Okay.
So, Ben, you want to give your little rundown?
Yeah, I mean, I played Smash Melee on a friend's GameCube when I was a wee lad, and then probably like 2006 or so, and that was a fun casual game. And then Brawl was announced, and I learned the true meaning of hype, and that became the rest of my life quickly. I don't know. Played that for years and years with friends, and then Smash 4 came out. Same deal. I didn't really get into what is competitive until Ultimate became a thing, and then by that point, oh god.
You there?
Yep. I think Ben's just thinking.
Sorry, what did they cut out?
No, I think
Yeah,
you're
it
good.
seems
Go
like
ahead.
it just trailed
Yeah.
off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, skip me for now. Come back to me.
I mean-
you're the last one, but okay.
I was just,
Oh, no, wait.
Well, I
I'll
mean, I
talk
still
about it.
haven't.
I've been practicing my tech skill in the background. I've been playing.
Tech skill?
Oh yeah, I've just been doing Samus's errors over and over again.
She's
Marowak, what are
labbing
you
on
doing?
the
You're like
podcast.
Mike is doing something.
I was just moving something. Is it still doing it right now?
I didn't hear anything. But anyway, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta give my thing. So, I would say that for starters, like Smash Bros. As a franchise is probably like more so than any other like video game or like any like work, like any media or like work of art or whatever, has probably impacted my life like the most. And it's for like a different reason than like most of you guys seem to be like more into the competitive scene and stuff. And I've dabbled with that, and we can like talk about that. But basically, for me, like, I played Melee as a kid. I never owned it myself because I would play it at this kid's house. Like, I would hang out with this dude, and he had all the video games, and he had Super Smash Bros. Melee. So I was like, this is sick. And I never bought the game because I instead got there was like one time I like went to this game store, and I was like, hey, give me the best GameCube game. And he was like, all right, you can get Melee or you can get Mario Kart Double Dash. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'll get Mario Kart because that way I can have the best of both worlds. And that was a good decision because I have, like, at the time I had a bunch of people I lived with. So, like, we did 4-player games stuff all the time. So either would have been a good choice. But yeah, so I went with Mario Kart. But I still played a bunch of Melee when I was a kid. I wasn't like following Brawl per se like before it released because I was pretty young. Like when the game came out, I was like 8 or 9 years old. So, you know, I wasn't like following the Brawl dojo or whatever the fuck it was called. But I did get the game, like, I want to say, like, within the year it came out. I got, like, a used copy of it or something at, like, this local, at my mall or whatever. And I remember just, like, I was, like, in the mall with my mom for, like, an hour and just, like, I was just, like, staring at the back of the box. Like, I wanted this game more than anything.
Dude, that's the best.
Yeah. But so, yeah, and then I played Brawl, and that was, like, super awakening for me, because, like, for me, playing Brawl as a kid was, like, I looked at the roster of characters, and I wanted to play, like, every fucking video game ever made. I was like, whoa, video games are fucking sick. Like, who's that Fox guy? I want him. I want the Falcon guy. I want every video game. I want to play all of them. And so
Yeah.
I did, and now I've played all the video games. No, but, like,
Yes.
but like, yeah, so that was the main thing for me, is, like, it made me, like, fall in love with video games. Like, I had already, like, I've been playing video games, like, since I was, like, 4 or something, and I had already been in love with video games. But Smash Bros, like, I had played, like, Mario and Pokemon and a bit of Zelda and stuff before this, but, like, playing Smash, like, made me want to be like, okay, yeah, like, this is it. Like, this is the thing. And
Yeah, Smash is a great way to introduce to other people the more underrated parts of Nintendo's catalog,
right.
like Metroid and
Mhm.
etc. etc.
Yeah, so that got me super into, like, Nintendo, especially because, like, they had, like, all the trophies and stuff and all the stickers. Like, that was my thing. It was like, I want to, like, I would just read, like, all the trophy descriptions for, like, hours. I would just look at all the stickers and be like, wow, that's, like, because, like, they do have, there's so much, even just, like, in Brawl, where it was still completely, well, they had, like, Sonic and Snake. They had, like, Metal Gear and Sonic stuff at that point, but still it was mostly all just, like, Nintendo franchises. And even with just that, there was, like, so much, like, I could not believe how much, like, history and like, like, you know, like, how much depth this company had. And so that was something for me that really, like, made me fall in love with the games. But yeah, like, I've been playing Smash since then, and, you know, I've followed the games ever since then. Like, Smash 4 was my sort of, like, hype cycle kind of thing, even though all the characters got leaked. Like, the 3DS roster was, like, leaked on 4chan. So, like, there wasn't as much, like, I mean, that was still, like, I was following all that, so it was still cool, but it wasn't, there was some points of it that were, like, sort of taken away. But yeah, because, like, for me at that point, it was, like, that was, like, my big sort of hype follow cycle thing, because I had played Brawl, and by this point, I had, like, played most of the games. Like, by this point, I was, like, I was familiar with all these characters and all their games. Like, I'd played Earthbound, and I'd played F-Zero and, like, Metroid and all that stuff. And so by this point, it was, like, initially it was like, whoa, who's that character? I want to play their game. But then by this point, it's like, okay, I know all the games. Who's in the game now? And it was like when they announced, like, Mega Man, I was like, whoa, because, like, this is when I was around this time becoming, like, a huge Mega Man nerd. So I was like, whoa, sick, cool. And then all the other characters, like, and stuff. And yeah, I have a lot of good memories with that, and still to this day, like, you know, with all the Smash Ultimate stuff, like, the roster and the amount of and the characters that they've gotten and the franchises that they're able to represent is, like, beyond unimaginable. But yeah, so that's a lot of my experience with Smash. I mean, I've also, of course, like, I have dabbled in tournaments a bit, and it's always been, like, a big thing between me and my friends. Like, I've had a lot of, I wouldn't say I've made friends through Smash necessarily, but it's been, like, a connecting thread between me and a lot of people that I've known. So yeah, I guess that's my brief synopsis.
I definitely agree, because I've met a lot of a lot of good friends through, like, playing Smash, or through, like, like it's a very good like general series to open with, you know,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
everyone.
it's a great icebreaker, and it has easy gameplay to get into with other people.
And
And
then
it's also
the only other thing I was gonna say for now is like as far as like my experience with competitive play is that like I never I never like tried to be good at the game. I've gone to tournaments and stuff, and I used to go, especially during like the Smash 4 era. I went to a lot, and I had won some, you know, like smaller tournaments, but like that was my goal was never to like be good at the game. I just liked playing it, and if I so happened to win, then that would be cool. Even during the Brawl days, actually, like not like at the peak of Brawl, like not like when it released, but like sort of post Brawl, but still before Smash 4. My local library would host like really casual tournaments, and
Ooh, library tournaments.
yeah. But those were fun because like me and my friends would all go, and they would have like prizes. They would give away like Mario plushies and shit like that. So it was cool.
Oh,
I also did a couple library tournaments for Brawl, I think.
Well, if you won a tournament, that's better than me. I played competitive Melee for like 3-4 years. never won a tournament. I actually never placed better than fourth.
Library tournaments are a different beast. My brother got like. I got like second in tournament because for the last match, my brother convinced the TO to turn on Smash Balls.
Oh yeah.
And then he camped as Ike until the Smash Balls were on, and then ran up and hit me. I was so tilted for like eternity.
We had library tournaments. They used to do a couple of them in the summer, and like my friend after the first one, he like printed them off the Smash Wiki Melee rule set, and he's like, he went to the library and he's like, here's what you got to do. You got to turn off items. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. They couldn't get him to do 1v1. It was free for all. But they got him to turn off items.
Oh no.
See, this is like another one of those things where it's something I didn't do as a kid, but I wish I did, kind of. Just in the fact that, like, I never got involved locally with Smash at all, and I probably could have. Just, like, I never knew anybody externally that was in the community. I just, like, played campaign by myself, and that was literally it. Or, like, watched YouTube videos. So I don't, like, have any direct connections or friends or experiences with it beyond just playing the game in my basement.
I did host a tournament once. I guess, well, technically I hosted like there was like when I was like in like middle school, I hosted a Brawl tournament with like 15 people at my house or something. But I've had like, but anyway, I hosted like an actual tournament once with one of my friends. We did it at like this like underground like music venue sort of thing. So it wasn't supposed to be like we weren't necessarily aiming for like the Smash community. We just wanted like cool people who just want to like hang out and play Smash Bros. But like but it ended up getting into like the further like the more like Smash based community in our area. So like my friend wasn't about it. Like he like hates like glasses nerd people. Ironically, because I am that exactly, but yeah, so I had a lot of fun, but it was not what he was hoping for. But we never
just like not friendly. Was it like just a competitive like free for all, or was it? Like,
no. It was like a pretty standard turn. You know, it was like 1v1s, no items, and like standard elimination and stuff. But and we had like a decent amount of people. There was like 30 something people there. But the problem is we were gonna do more. But this one fucking dude, so we never promised any sort of, we promised like a payout to like first place, but we didn't we don't really go to tournaments. Like again, this was like something that like we weren't expecting this to be like a tournament thing. So like some fucking like asshole who was like just like came to this tournament, this other TO, he like hosts his own tournaments. He like came to our thing basically to like win and leave. Cause like I hate that guy was such an asshole. And then he was like fucking trying to get all this money from us. We're like, dude, fuck off. Like we never promised anything, and it was like a huge thing. And then after that, like he made all these like fucking posts like the local Facebook groups or whatever, Discords or whatever, and like now everyone hates us, so we can never do a tournament again. But we never our idea was like, okay, we'll just pay first place, like whatever, because we also had to rent out this place and everything. So
did you charge entry? Where was the money coming from?
Yeah, we did, and we did charge entry. we only promised that first place would win, but we did end up paying like we did solos and singles and doubles. We did pay like the top 3 players of singles and doubles, but we honestly didn't have any sort of like expectation like of how normal tournaments like work. So we were just like, okay, let's just like make sure that we can pay back like what we have to pay for this place, and then everything else is like we can figure that out after. But we ended up basically being flat, so it was fine. But
oh, so you had like the venue money and the tournament entry money was the same. That was
we
probably
had-
what that guy was mad about.
we had a $5 entry fee and then $5 bracket.
Oh, wow. Then I don't know what.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what his issue was.
All
That's
I know is that
terrible,
that's
though.
obviously not a normal tournament, so no one should be bitching about it.
Right, and I think
Well,
I honestly do think that he wanted to like crush, like he didn't want us to be successful, but that's
Dude, I
yeah,
love
that's-
Smash Elitists.
yeah.
That's really
There's
shitty.
such
Like,
pain.
what that should be is like, oh, there like some new people are getting involved in this thing. Let me
Kill
like
them.
give them feedback on what they're doing.
Yeah,
That sucks that someone did that.
yeah, it was really shitty, but it happens. So whatever.
Equally bad experiences with local Smash groups, but for different reasons. I'm not gonna go into it, but
But yeah, so I do have like a sort of, I don't know how much we have to get into this or how necessary it really is. I did make like a small like sort of like development history or whatever, or like release of all the games. I'll just run through it like real fast. So the original Smash Bros came out on N64 in 1999, and it was, the main directors is, as we all probably know, like Masahiro Sakurai. He's like the god of these games. He basically wanted to make a more like approachable, like casual sort of fighting game, because he played a lot of like King of Fighters and stuff, and he was just like wrecking people. So he's like, all right, let's make this a little bit more approachable. So he made this game, or he made this like prototype for a game. Hold on, let me try to find this picture here. Okay, the original prototype for Super Smash Bros. Is actually called Dragon King: The Fighting Game, and it did not have any Nintendo characters. It was just like a bunch of polygonal dudes. You still have like the percentage and all that, so it's 4 players, the platform, that sort of thing. But Sakurai presented the game to Iwata, who's like a big dude at Nintendo, and he was like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool." He was like, "Yeah, I don't have any characters yet," so Sakurai didn't think Nintendo would give him the approval to use all the Nintendo characters, so he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna make an alpha version or whatever, prototype, with like a bunch of Nintendo characters," and they were like, "Yo, this is sick, let's do this." So they did it, and they made Super Smash Bros, and it was sick. And 2 years later, at E3 in 2001, Super Smash Bros. Melee is revealed, and you have to realize, so this was only 2 years after Smash Bros. Had come out on N64 in '99. So,
Well, that was in America?
but the years they came out were the same worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Melee was revealed at E3 in 2001. It was playable the same day. Like, people were like, "Whoa, look at this cool fucking Smash Bros. Game." They used like the opening cutscene for like that shows up in Melee. That was like what the
Yeah,
E3
the
trailer
awesome
was.
OP.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. So they did that, and then it was playable, and everyone was like, "Whoa, sick!" But yeah, so Smash Melee was actually developed in like, I think like 13 months, which is fucking insane.
Oh.
Like,
That's insane crunch time.
it is, yeah. So the thing is, like, I know that, as far as like people look at, like, most people now look at Melee as like a competitive fighting game or whatever. It was never supposed to be that. It was just they were just trying to make another sort of like casual party fighting kind of game. That was like an appreciation of Nintendo and all of their history. But because of this rushed development time, there's a lot of bugs. Some people say, like, apparently like there have been like interviews and stuff, like supposedly Sakurai knew about like wave dashing and a couple other things, and they just, and the team, and they just decided to leave them in. That's
I've heard that.
yeah,
That's true.
So that's like a thing. But yeah. So Melee is fucking cool. It's like the best game ever. And then in 2006 at E3 2006 they revealed Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and the big reveal here was that they had, I can't remember if they had both characters in the first trailer, but I think they might have. But basically they were allowing third-party characters now. They revealed Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid and Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog. And both of those characters, obviously not Nintendo character, like first-party Nintendo characters. Those are Konami and Sega. So yeah, like that was a fucking huge deal because Sonic obviously is like a perfect fit for that sort of thing. And especially like Sonic was originally made to be like a mascot in competition with Mario, like during the 16-bit era. So to have them in a game like that together was like huge. I don't know if Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, if that came out before Brawl, I don't know. But then you have.
Well, that came out in the Wii, I think, right?
It did. I don't know which came out first. I know Brawl came out in 2008, and also Mario and Sonic came out pretty early, but I'm not sure quite when. But yeah, so that was a big deal. And then with Smash 4, as it is called, like fan dubbed, because it's officially just called Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS.
The P is it's Smash 4.
Smaforsh.
3DS or Smash 4.
Smaforsh.
Right, yeah, it's Smash 4, yeah.
And it's also the fourth game.
Right.
So people just call it Smash 4.
Smaforsh is the correct.
That's Smaforsh.
Yeah,
That's
so
the appropriate title.
So Smash 4 was announced at E3, I think like 2013, and when they announced this game, Sakurai didn't even know about it. Like Sakurai has for the previous 3 games, he's been like the main guy directing them all. He didn't even know about this game, and then I think like after the announcement, Satoru Iwata, who was another big dude at Nintendo, was like, hey, can you work on this for us? And he was like, yeah, sure. So then they started development on Smash 4. And yeah, again, it was notable because it came out for both the 3DS and the Wii U. The 3DS version came out first. And that was cool to have. There was also a demo for Smash 3DS that came out that was like exclusive. It's like, I don't know how it worked. Like they only gave it out to like so many people like through email. And I was one of them, and like all of my, because you get like 4 codes, I think, and like all my friends were begging me like, do, give me that code like now. So that was fun. And then Smash Wii U came out, and Smash Wii U actually came out the same day as Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the remakes of the Hoenn games. So that was really cool because me and my friends, we all like I got like 5 or 6 friends. We were all hanging out. We had Smash Wii U, and we all had Pokemon. So it was sick.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like between Brawl and Ultimate, I just did not know that Smash 4 existed whatsoever. And when I learned about it, I was like, oh, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to the Best Buy demo parties for Smash 4? I did.
No, I did not.
I can't remember if I did. I've been to other ones. I've been like to the Mario Odyssey one, but I don't know if
I did the Smash Ultimate one. Oh, I tried to do it.
I did. I failed to mention this, but not that it's really relevant. But my friend T-Wing Blade is also a huge Smash player. He's a huge fan and everything, and he's taken me to the Best Buy demo plays for both the Wii U and the Ultimate, and they were both really fucking awesome. Like even for me, who literally could care less about Smash, I was like, it was a lot of fun going to these because there were especially for Ultimate, when after Mega Man was revealed, we were like at near the front of the line. Like we were like maybe like 5 or 6 plays next. Like there were like 5 other there were like 25 people in front of us, so 5 more plays before us, and someone was using Mega Man and used the final smash, and it was the loudest, most
hype shit.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Hype shit. Even after seeing the trailer, it's like just seeing it in real life.
Yeah.
Was unbelievable.
Imagine being like a mom shopping in Best Buy and like this is going on.
Now, you remember they had like the what it was like some gaming event where they had like a commentated like
yeah they called PP&D Fox. They called him Fox. It was an invitational demo play for Smash 4 basically.
And it had Smash Balls enabled, and someone like Mega Man, there's like a famous clip where the guy is like, Mega Man, super fighting robot, as Mega Man's doing the final smash.
I think it was commentated. No, it was commentated by like commentators, but Reggie was hosting it.
It was D1.
The crowd voted on who won by like holding up signs. So it was like whoever got first place went on, and then the crowd voted someone else. I don't know. Fucking weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
I dropped the link in general.
Like the perception that like. So, like, with Smash Ultimate, they've been a little bit better at acknowledging the competitive scene of Smash.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, like, the Smash competitive scene has been kind of, like, ignored by Nintendo.
Well, it's also not something
that multiple times.
Up until, like, Smash 4 and Ultimate, like, it was never something that the dev team was, like, trying to implement. Like, it was something... Like, they made it as just, like, a fun game. Like, they didn't think of it as a competitive game at all. Well,
and they actively didn't want it to be, because at Evo, I think 2013, the first year that Melee was back, they sent Evo a cease and desist.
Right.
And then we took up pitchforks on Twitter. Everyone was posting the customer service number, and within 40 minutes, we got the cease and desist revoked. And then I think in some subsequent year, they helped out with Evo. They like provided Wii U's and TVs, but yeah, it's sketchy.
They realized that cultivating a competitive scene is good for sales.
Yeah. Initially, they're just like, competitive, casual game. You think you want that, but you don't. Trust me.
Even Sakurai will not admit that Smash Ultimate is a fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, even though he puts like Terry in the game, or like Ryu, or like other fighting game characters, he's still not like, oh, Smash Ultimate fighting game.
I think they looked at it pragmatically because like the amount of players playing competitive is nothing compared to sales, but it took them to realize that actually indirectly viewership, even if those people aren't hardcore people watching the tournaments, it does increase sales. It's probably they probably realize indirectly, eventually pragmatically through marketing, it helps to do something. But originally the attitude was like, well, the numbers are so small, which they are so small, but it's just the fact that the viewership, the network effects of having a competitive scene that's thriving indirectly can bring people into the game. So
I think
I never. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Twitch has really helped a lot of different fighting games. In fact, kind of show that, because before Melee had a lot of community support, but not like you couldn't necessarily see it. Like you'd have to find it to know that it existed, but it definitely existed. But now you can like point at like Twitch viewing numbers and go, look at how big this scene is,
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say too that like I've played very, very, very little Melee, but even then I still keep up to date with like the competitive Melee scene and like who's winning what tournaments, and I'm always rooting for Amsa, who's the Yoshi god. He will win someday. He'll win fucking Evo, okay?
I mean, yeah, it's
and yeah, it just like and I have to go soon, but it's just like cool to me that it's now like evolved from just like a local scene thing to a point where like worldwide people can appreciate it, even to a point where it's a game I've never really played a whole lot before, but like I'm My roommate and I are probably gonna mess around some Melee soon, just in general, even though neither of us have played a whole lot of it. And
Melee-
just,
You don't
like-
need to watch or you don't need to play football to watch football.
yeah, exactly.
You might need like a little bit of experience to properly understand it, but
Yeah, and just the idea of reviving an older game and saying that older games don't need to, like, not everything needs a new coat of paint, doesn't need to be reworked upon constantly. It can still have value just as it is.
well, and if they changed Melee,
yeah.
it wouldn't be Melee. Like Melee is
Yeah,
only the
exactly.
way that it is because of its development. But
And people like it that way, apparently.
People like cramping their fingers to do tech that is...
L canceling is the stupidest thing ever. I gotta
agree.
say.
I agree. I hate that shit.
all right,
Like that is like the most redundant like execution. It's now a rhythm game mixed in. I don't know.
Get good.
Rhythm game.
all right. So I
Yeah,
still gotta just wrap this up, and then you guys can go haywire.
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, I have this.
No, you're good.
Okay, so yeah, the roster of the 3DS version was like blah blah blah, but the cool thing about Smash 4 in particular is like they had this sort of hype cycle with Brawl, but because they had like the dojo thing where like every week or whatever they would post something new, but with Smash 4 they really bumped that up to the next level because they had like cinematic trailers for all the character reveals, and like every time
that's
they would
what
announce
Sonic-
like a Nintendo Direct or whatever, like where they would mostly be shown, it's just super hype. Like it's just like it would always be like they would always be like, oh, we got one more thing, and they have like one final announcement, and then you see like the Smash like ball thing pop up, and you're like, oh fuck, and then it's cool. It's awesome. The presentation, like the way that they reveal the characters, is incredible, and that's part of like that's a huge part of the like hype and appeal of a lot of the game for me and a lot of people.
Got to thank for that.
Yeah, and that continued with Smash Ultimate because Smash Ultimate was announced in a Nintendo Direct. They announced with Inkling, like they didn't say at all it was gonna be Smash Bros or whatever. It was just like an Inkling. People are like, what? Splatoon, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then she like looks up and there's a Smash Ball and there's all a bunch of Smash characters and everyone's like, yeah, Smash for the Switch. And then they later a few months later at E3 they did like a whole thing, and the way that they presented the game is like they were like, hey, okay, so we're gonna show you all the characters in the game or whatever, and they're like, and as they revealed more and more characters, you're like, wait a minute, they showed like, holy shit, like Pichu is coming back and like Young Link, like all these like characters that you would never expect to come back, and then they're like, wow, they got Cloud again, like I didn't think they would be able to get that, and then you see Snake, and you're like, holy shit, and then it says everyone is here, and you're like, wow, they have every fucking character that has ever been in the history, every character that's ever been playable in the history of Smash Bros. Is playable in Smash Ultimate, and that is amazing. Even Sans Undertale. Yeah, so they've really broken the limit with Smash Ultimate, and they're still putting out characters. They still have this current season pass, and actually there's a character coming out tomorrow. The first character.
I didn't know about that.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't know?
The first character coming out.
Early, jeez.
The first character in the second Fighter's Pass, as of this recording, is coming out tomorrow, and that is Min Min from ARMS, and she's pretty cool.
Oh, I heard about her.
Oh, it was already announced, but you're saying it's
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah.
It's releasing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
I was
already knew that.
I was happy with her because she's like they announced like a month or so ago that they were doing an ARMS character, but they didn't say who, and she was my first choice. So
Ooh,
very
that's
cool.
good.
But yeah, so they're still doing the DLC and stuff, and I have a thing. I don't know. I guess I was thinking probably do this at the end, but I was thinking like we could all talk like if we have any like dream characters that we'd like to see in the game. But
Well, before we do that, I forget who's leaving. Was it Martin?
Kyrie's.
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Kyrie, since you're leaving soon, do you want to do your own little go?
Want to bring up anything?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's my cue. I was thinking, I'm sure there is a Smash character I would like. The first thing that comes to mind is just generic Monster Hunter from the Monster Hunter franchise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I swear there was like an actual answer I had for that long ago, but I'm just gonna go for Monster Hunter at this point. Like it would just be like Hero, where there's like multiple different skins for the hero, and it's just Monster Hunter, and that's it. And you have all the weapons.
They do have
Because there's already like a Rathalos item, so not far-fetched. Maybe literally just like a little fuck, I can't remember the names, but the little cat people in Monster Hunter.
Oh, a Palco?
Maybe literally
A
just
Palco?
that. Yeah.
I mean, they already have generic Monster Hunter character in Marvel versus Capcom, so I could see them doing like a similar kind of thing for Smash if that ever happened.
I personally,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see that. I just find I just find it would be really lame, honestly, like personally. But
Yeah,
Well-
it's not like there's any cool moves that Monster Hunter has. It's just swing big thing. That's kind of it.
Well, there's like some cool move sets and stuff you can do with like the move set potential for a Monster Hunter character is vast.
Yeah, I just wonder how they'd work like weapons and stuff into it as well.
You could it would be cool to do like a weapon switching thing, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe
Yeah, and they
some-
have like aerial moves in the new games and stuff too.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter cast coming soon, eventually. Maybe not, but it will happen. On that note, goodbye, dear viewer. See you next time,
See ya.
possibly. Everybody else,
Yeah,
have fun.
next time.
later, Kyrie.
Yeah.
Have
a
fun,
good
have
one.
fun. Leave
Later.
comments, leave comments. Have fun. Goodbye.
Player 2 defeated.
And
Cool,
with that,
cool.
I don't know. what do you?
Then
Let's go ahead and
go
so-
phone.
do the character thing, I guess, because we brought that up.
Okay, sure.
The only character that I am desperate to have, and thank God for Min Min for proving that it's possible, that a sticker character who already exists can become
Oh
a
yeah.
playable character. Please bring Shantae. Please just fucking do it. I need that bitch in my life. More. I need more of Shantae in my life. I don't care to what extent or what game it's from.
I think
Please bring
Shantae would be
Shantae.
pretty sick.
I think
Yeah,
Shantae would.
Shantae's moveset would be great for Smash.
Yeah, I think she would definitely work as a character, and she would be cool. But I think since they already have like her like represented in the game in some form, I think it would be like personally, I would like them to choose like a different indie character to represent. Like I actually think,
Yeah.
like we talked about like Cave Story. Like I think Quote
forgot.
might like that would be a really cool choice for like an indie character. I don't have like any indie characters that I specifically want, or like Hollow Knight would also be cool. But yeah, Shantae's cool.
The problem is if it's an indie character, there are so many like different good indie characters to bring in.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, I'd be a personal fan of Hollow Knight. I'm a big fan. But
I wouldn't say I would settle for it, but if they at least made like a costume like they did with Sans, then
Mhm.
I'd at least be like, okay, at least they acknowledge like, yeah, okay, Shantae's cool enough to be in the game, but we just don't want to have to pay for it or get the copyright or whatever.
They
At
also
least
did
then I
like
could be like, okay,
yeah, they also did like Cuphead as a Mii costume, and
oh yeah,
most recently
Yeah.
in the new pass they're doing Vault Boy, which is pretty cool.
very
and Shovel Knight's like an assist trophy.
Yeah, so they do have like
Shovel
indie
Knight's
stuff in
nice.
there. Does anyone else have any like characters that they would like to see?
I
Whether it be like a
have
dream or what's up, JNES? What do you got?
I think what I would want is for Genos to be in
Yeah.
Smash. I want to see Nate just dance and just be happy boy so much that you actually get Ghost in the Shell video done.
I'm also a Geno fan.
I'm
Please put
also
him in. Please
yeah.
put
Yeah.
him in.
He is also if I have 3 characters specifically that I really want to be in the game, and Geno is one of them.
That's no surprise. He is one of the top voted in
He-
any poll that I see.
Ever since Brawl, like people have been like just like Ridley. Like I feel like Geno has like the same cred as Ridley for being like a really long wanted character
Yeah.
for this Smash series.
I'm hoping. I have my
Oh.
fingers crossed. I think he is possible. I think if the stars align, we will get Geno. But
Literally, if the stars align.
exactly, the legend of the
If the
7
stars-
stars.
I'll keep an eye out for the night sky.
I can understand why Geno
He's
because, like,
fucking
popular
sick.
people-
He's like the coolest character of all fucking time.
I mean, I guess that's all the reason you need, but I was just gonna say, like, I just don't understand, like, if there's any other reason why Gino specifically. But I guess if he's just that popular amongst the community, then yeah, I guess that's the only reason you need.
He's not necessarily, he's no Banjo-Kazooie, I get. Like, well, I guess Banjo's in the same boat. Banjo is like everyone wanted Banjo in the game, right?
By the way, I just want to say my friend fucking died that day.
Oof.
When Banjo and Kazooie was announced. He literally just fainted.
Everyone was excited. Everyone was excited for Banjo, but now nobody plays him.
Wait,
Wait,
I thought you
no
meant
one?
literally died. Did you mean like?
No.
No, okay. Like,
No.
so he's alive, right?
Like he died of happiness. Like,
Oh no, I literally thought you meant he died. I was like, holy shit.
No, I'm not that morbid. Jeez.
No, I thought you were gonna say like, oh man, I couldn't be happy about it because my friend died on that day, so it kind of ruined it. I thought that's what you were saying. I misunderstood.
That would be funny if it actually did happen.
Yeah, that would be so
that wouldn't be funny.
hilarious.
Fucking Marowak, why do you do
I
this
love
to me?
death.
How about you, Alex? Do you have any characters on mind?
Short answer, no, because I have no interest in playing any new games ever again for the rest of my life. I just
enough.
want to fade into boomerdom and never learn anything new. But I do have some thoughts on this. You mentioned quote from Cave Story. If there's any character that I would be like interested to see if they would or what they would do, it would be quote. I know they're playing a lot more with the input system in Ultimate.
Yeah.
A lot of characters have like more unique inputs, so something with a weapon switching, if they got quote in, that'd be nuts. So I might actually try whatever game is current if they were to do that. Other than that, I don't know. This is tangentially relevant, but when I was a kid, people used to lie about like, if you beat Cruel Melee, you can unlock Sonic and Tails, or you can unlock Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So if anyone ever beats Cruel Melee, let me know if that's true. And for those of you who don't know, you can't beat it. It's endless.
Yep.
Oh no. Yo, Ben, do you have any even? I don't know if you're having mic trouble, but do you have any characters?
I think I'm hard. I don't feel like there's any character I need to see. I like the idea of Monster Hunter. I unironically think Waluigi would be funny as a character.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I think mostly they should. I want them to do like an Echo Fighter pass and just do
I
a bunch
also,
of
yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I can get behind
Get
that.
Shadow in the game. Get
Shadow.
yeah,
Yeah.
Black Knight.
I was actually
What?
pissed when fucking Shadow came back as a assist trophy because I was like, why? I want to play as Shadow the Hedgehog.
It seems like
I
a
want to
no-brainer.
use a
especially when
gun.
they declared that Echo Fighters were a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone Shadow would get him.
I almost feel like they'll have like imagine they can probably do like 3 or 4 Echo Fighters in the time it takes to make one new character. Like
That is,
Echo
yeah.
Fighters, and from what I understand, they're a lot less development time because they're just like a skin.
Well, yeah. They're...
But at this point, if they're selling them separately, they're gonna probably put the work. Like there's, like take Dark Samus, who is like all different animations.
That's true.
They put a lot of work in for, and she's effectively the same character. Like there's not any mechanical differences, which I think is kind of weird that they wanted to be like exactly the same, but like still they put in like a ton of work for. And if they sold it to you after launch, they'd probably like have to justify it by, I don't know, making them a lot more in depth. But yeah,
Charging you more money for
yes,
DLC.
and I don't know when like how they would work that in. If it would be like one of the slots of the fighter pass, or if they do it afterward or separately. I don't know. But yeah, that's just
Yeah.
what I think.
Do you have any thoughts, Martin? He's muted. I don't know if you... Oh.
I mean, this is just discussion about characters, which I just never gave a shit about. I
Okay.
was like,
Fair enough.
yeah, like this is like the part of Smash I never engage with at all. Like, oh, there's a character announcement. I'm like, I don't care.
Dude, but what if John Halo for Smash?
I don't care. I mean, that was like, I might play it, I guess, if at least.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Like the whole like this is like a big, maybe even like 60% of like Smash's hype cycle. But like I just never cared about. Well, here's this character that's a trophy that might become a real character, and then I liked this game, and oh, why don't you put this other character from this game I really liked in there because it's meaningful? And I don't care. That's my engagement with this part of the Smash franchise. I kind of just played the game and it had good mechanics and it was fun.
Yeah. The leak roller coaster for Ultimate has been particularly crazy because like as mentioned before, Smash 4's whole roster got leaked technically by like a 4chan user. And so like every major event for Smash Ultimate, somebody would come out with like like there would be so many leaks circulating. Like,
oh yeah, I remember one time there was a supposed leak of a poster from a printing press in France that shows Banjo Kazooie on the poster you see in the chat.
That one was everyone thought it was real because it was like a picture of a poster, like because there's like the poster you can buy with all the characters on it. And this is before the rest of the base game roster was revealed. And like there was like multiple like different normally taking a picture of something is like can be easily, photoshopped or whatever. But like this time there was like multiple source checking and like there was like a credible story that some guy worked at this company that did manage the
oh wait, fuck! I just posted the wrong link. Well, that works too.
Who did manage the like making the the poster products for Nintendo?
Those dadgum uncles that work at Nintendo have got to stop telling their nephews so they can go post online and ruin it for everyone. There was, when we were waiting for Brawl to come out, some dude made a Smashboards thread, and he said, I am Masahiro Sakurai. Ask me anything. And so Gimpyfish, the mod, traced his IP address, and he was like, oh yes, Masahiro Sakurai, who lives in Atlanta, Georgia, is here to answer your questions.
There was actually a real leak that happened with Smash Ultimate, though. There was Ken. That was actually legit.
That's true.
But so the
Grinch leak.
The three characters.
What if they put in Ken?
They did put in
not Ken, but Ken too.
Ken,
like
Ken from Survivor.
Yeah. So you have Ken, and then you also have Ken, and like they're both named Ken. So like there's no distinction by characters. You just have to like look at the image.
There are two Roys actually. There's
so put in Ken.
Yeah.
Those of you who play Fire or who play Ultimate, how bad is the Fire Emblem overload? Is it that bad or is it a meme?
There are.
I mean, I think that's only for roster facts. I don't think anyone really.
I am a roster fag. So.
I don't particularly care about the Fire Emblem overload. I just enjoy the drama and the "hoes mad" comments.
It's just frustrating that there are 7, maybe 8 Fire Emblem characters now, something like that, and it's like.
And 4 of them are Marth.
So is Fire Emblem just a visual novel?
No,
it's like a grid-based, turn-based strategy RPG.
But like, is the real game that it's a visual novel? Because that's like everyone's like.
Oh.
From what I've seen, it looks like a waifu game.
The new ones are.
It's only the last couple of games. That's not how it originally started out.
It used to be like they used to be like actually like hardcore as fuck. Like you would only get like one chance to play a map, so you'd have to like effectively grind like you'd have to grind all your units properly so that. And effectively so that like that character has good stats and that shitty one, no, fuck that guy, he sucks, I'm not going to use him, blah blah. And there's like permadeath and stuff, so like but now it's like super casualized, and that's fine because you can still play it hardcore. like the
They figured out how to sell it, and now
Right.
it's a waifu game.
but
Yeah,
now basically it's turned into like waifu trash.
Mayor,
The
you
games are still
kid.
fine though. Like I played like out of the newer ones, I've only played Awakening on the 3DS, and that was like the first like quote unquote new one. That was like it was the best selling at the time. It still might be. And it wasn't as waifu at that point, but
I just seen images and it just looks like a visual novel of like the recent games.
yeah.
Which I'm not like anti-visual novel. I'm just saying like that's what I thought it was, not with any sort of judgment behind it. Where you're saying like waifu trash. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, well, that's what it seems to be, waifu game, with no connotation.
It's not
Where your
actually-
connotation is like, oh, it's bad because it used to be hardcore cool and now it's not anymore. Which
Yeah.
I mean, I actually would hate like super grindy RPG because then you just like grind, and I hate grinding and anything.
Well, it's the
That's like the-
opposite of that. That's what I'm saying is like it's grindy in a way because like
One shot, right?
Right, like it's not like now, you know, it's not like you have to grind a bunch. It's not like Dragon Quest or something where like the whole game is just you grind over and over, go over and over, and then you can finally beat the boss, and then you move on to the next town, and you grind, and then you beat the boss. It's like Fire Emblem, like the old ones, were like you would have a map, you would play a map, and they're like these huge maps. They would take like 30 minutes, like an hour or something, depending on the game and depending on which map. And like you have these units that, you know, like in any other like strategy RPG, you have like, you know, characters. But you can't replay the maps. So there would be like 30 set maps in a game or whatever, like 25 or 30 or however many like stages. And each one of those you only get to play once. So you have to effectively like set all your skills like, okay, like I'm going to use this guy to kill that guy so that he can get these stats and, you know, et cetera, so that and then but your characters can also die. And if they die at all, they're dead. They're permanently dead.
Dead for real.
Yeah, so if
In real life.
in real life. So if your characters die, you can effectively lose the game. Like you can lose the game like on like
Not only
stage
just
28
lose
or
the
whatever,
game.
you can lose the
Well,
entire
that's
RPG.
lame because then you have to waste a bunch of time to play again.
Make
No,
up your
no,
mind.
That's cool.
Marie.
That's
But
fucking
if
sick.
you have to go at a later level and you have one great character that would have been great, like an
Look,
archer
that's why.
or
Look, that's
a
why they.
businessman,
That's why they
But
have
but
these
then
modern
died at
games.
the earlier levels.
The
It
real
needs to be good on
It's
the later
cool
games.
because every single choice you make actually matters.
So
Okay.
are you likely
Fire
to
Emblem
lose the whole
sucks. This is not a Fire Emblem cast. I'm bringing this back on
Aw.
topic.
Oh, but we having so much fun.
Somebody do a Fire Emblem episode, it'd be cool. But our forefathers, the PCP, talked about this issue of Fire Emblem characters recently, and I know they had a take of like, I don't care that it's new Fire Emblem characters, but they keep adding like similar Fire Emblem characters.
The problem
Where it's like
The problem is
blue-haired
not that
anime
it's
swords.
Fire
I
Emblem
know Dib
characters.
said there was like a guy with a lance that he wanted, and not a blue-haired anime swordsman. I don't know.
Okay, so like Fire Emblem has a long in Smash. Fire Emblem characters have a long-standing tradition of being added in the Smash to promote the newest game in the franchise and no other reason.
Well,
Oh,
it
I
started.
hate
I mean,
that.
okay. So the thing is, you have to realize too. In Melee, they added Marth and Roy as new characters. They were. I think Marth was planned to be in Smash 64. But anyway, they added Marth to this game, and at the time, Fire Emblem had not been. There was not any Fire Emblem games released in the West. So this was a character that was, like, to people with GameCubes in America in 2001 or 2003 or whatever playing this game, they're like, who the fuck is that guy? Like, they might have said that about, like, NES or whatever anyways, but that guy, like, literally, like nobody fucking knew what Fire Emblem was, because it wasn't released in America. So because of that, they released, at around the same time, they were making Fire Emblem 7 for the Game Boy Advance, which is just known in the West as Fire Emblem. And when they released that game, they brought it to America. And so that because of that, like Smash is basically the reason that Fire Emblem is even at all successful in America. Like Smash was the commercial for Fire Emblem basically, and always has been. So they've used that as a strategy to promote Fire Emblem games.
Speaking of Westerners not knowing who Marth is, when I was like 11 years old, I thought Marth spoke Spanish. That was like a foreign language that I knew.
I thought it was being like a
I was like,
European
oh, he's a
language.
conquistador swordsman guy or some shit.
You know, it was the aesthetic kind of because Spain was European country. They probably had. Actually, I don't know anything about this. I'm probably totally wrong, but like maybe they had like similar aesthetic as like the European swordsmen, because like the Fire Emblem characters are like European style sort of. They're not really like
Yeah.
Japanese style. So you can justify that, I guess. It's not that far.
Ah, yes, the Spanish Inquisition against Mario. Who will win? Oh.
Oh.
But
Nah, that's not historically accurate.
in terms of the most recent one, Bailiff, anyone who's played Three Houses knows that Bailiff is the least interesting character in Three Houses.
That's typically the self-insert protagonist.
Like, there are a lot of cool characters in the newest Fire Emblem game, that could have made it, like, I don't want to say everybody, but there's a lot of different options, but they chose, like, the most boring option. And although I'm fine with it because his moveset's cool, like, it's well realized. He's not a clone of any swordsman. It's still a little bit, you know.
So
it felt
how
like
do you spell Bailiff? Because I'm sure it's not Bailey.
It's
Byleth or
Byleth.
I don't know how to pronounce crazy names.
I always thought it was Blythe, but now I know.
It's definitely not Blythe.
This happened to me on an earlier episode too. I'm learning how to pronounce things via podcasts. But speaking of Smash Melee in particular being advertisements for new games or not localized games, another piece of lore. There was I think it was a Tom Nook trophy, an Animal Crossing trophy in Melee. And Animal Crossing was released like something like a year after Melee, definitely after Melee. So that was like, it was literally like, this guy doesn't even exist yet. Look for him in the future. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff like that. A lot of the trophies were...
Man, that's a good Bayleaf image. I'm sorry.
They had like a lot of trophies of like games that only came out for like the Famicom, so like the Japanese NES and stuff like that. Like a lot of cool ass shit. And everything just went silent. Is everyone there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just speak about Smash.
I'm saving the
all that
Bayleaf
entails.
image because it's pretty cute and that's like a good reaction image. I don't know.
So the images in chat right now of the game guides. I remember the first big tournament I went to was Apex 2012, and there was some guy there who had the Melee game guide, and he thought it was like the funniest thing he'd ever seen, and he was going around telling everybody like, "Oh, it says here, Fox is a good character if you can master his blistering speed." So pro tip. So that was funny.
That's actually kind of true though. That one's actually not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I Love did not master his blistering speed and got PR'd, so fake news. Shouts out to this guy I knew who was good.
Oh,
without
you're
being
right.
good.
You know, Brad was sick. Brad was cool. He was like the funnest person to play against.
Oh man. Shoutouts to Jigglypuff camping on a platform. Anyway. Melee is probably still the hypest game to watch in tournament.
I'll
Just
take
I
your word for
originally
it because I
wanted
wouldn't know.
to- Yeah, I originally wanted to go to an actual Smash Bros. Melee venture, but unfortunately the COVID-19 hit, and I'm not going to be able to go anytime soon.
Screwed up everything.
Like stopped playing because local community was like all toxic-y kind of. So
Dude, if you don't interact with them online at all, it's like better. I
no,
think
yeah, in
that's
person
bad.
they were good,
They
but
were-
like
yeah.
it was I don't know, that Discord was just like fucking Mean Girls. Or
I was
some
never
shit.
in the Discord. I've only ever heard bad things about it. I left the Facebook group pretty early.
It was literally Mean Girls. Like that was what it was.
I haven't seen Mean Girls either, but we should do an episode on that. Cristiano,
What?
We are Monkey Jones here.
I think you would be the one to know this. How not shit does my computer have to be to run NetPlay? Because I've never set it up myself.
I've also not set it up myself.
But you were
I just
2012
have,
MacBook Air
I
would
just
play
have
it.
lots of friends that play. In college there's a group of people that played NetPlay Melee.
Alex, my 2012 MacBook Air ran NetPlay.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty low. requirements.
I think it's
so
more.
I might
internet.
try it then.
I think it's more
It might have
internet
been a little
than it
laggy
is-
though. It might have been a little laggy, but it would run it.
Well, my internet sucks too, but I'll let you know if I try it.
There's a
Now
lot
when it's
of
good.
there's a couple of Smash. There's a lot of Smash Ultimate players who are now playing Melee because Smash Ultimate scene's a little jank right now, and
The
Melee's
problem is
coming back.
online amplifies toxicity, and I only forward smash, and people hate when they lose to only forward smash. So it's like
You don't have to talk to them anymore though, because you
If
can
it-
search for opponents without chatting, right?
If
like,
they
just
lose
think-
to only forward Smash, they
here's, like-
deserve it.
here's a clip of like I posted it of like literally this is an example like summed up like what I would do kind of. I would just sort of I didn't have a good punish game, so I would like just forward smash a lot.
That's, I mean, fair enough.
Like
more
I could like see like the reads right, shielding and then getting the read on and stopping, but then like a better player might like grab and do it like do something different, right? But I was like I didn't have like a very elaborate punish game, so I would just end up optimally forward smashing in so many situations, and it was just
you don't have to L cancel if you're just forward smashing. Like,
yeah. It's
I
just like
hate L canceling so much. I'm such a scrub, I know, but
well, no, I mean, I can definitely. I didn't have trouble L canceling because I didn't
it's
play
not
Fox
hard.
and
It's
have to
just
do
annoying.
I mean, I definitely was not annoyed by it by the end just because I had it developed muscle memory. But like, I think
Fair.
as a mechanic to start with, like, mind you, you don't play I only played melee, so it was like
Yeah.
after a while, it just was what you did. I mean, every once in a while, I might miss it on down air or some certain moves where it's like a little feels different, but in general, I didn't have trouble like L canceling that much. But like Fox and other characters are much more difficult where you have to do different timings with your fast falls and stuff. That's when it becomes hard.
Well, according to old school Smashboards knowledge, L canceling is optional with Fox. By the way.
Wait, is it
I
really?
read that at some.
His moves are fast enough, right?
If you read threads from like 2004, yeah, someone said that somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Marth is like the most important character, I think, to L cancel with.
No, it's
Not
gotta
That's
be
not to
Fox.
say it's
Disagree.
not. It is a
Disagree.
fundamental tech.
You can't not do it with anyone. You have to do it with everyone. There's no like.
That's
You're just
fair.
gonna be slow. You're just gonna land and be stuck,
See,
and then you'll get hit.
I play Sheik in melee because I don't need. You don't need fundamentals to play.
No,
Well, no, you do
you
need
don't need
fundamentals.
fundamental tech skill as much. You can rely on fundamentals
You,
instead.
you,
Yeah,
you need real
that's what I mean,
fundamentals,
that's what I
not tech
mean.
skill. Yeah, you can play Sheik with just regular fighting game fundamentals. Yeah.
I hit people with my moves.
Like when I started playing Smash and like I learned the basic tech skill, but there was this guy who had played like with his friends as a kid, and he was just a roommate of some other people that were competitive. But he played with those competitive people, but didn't know any tech skill. But he would always
Yeah.
beat me, and he would just like dash attack and stuff with Sheik. But he just had real fundamentals, like actual fighting game fundamentals, not
Yeah, like spacing.
not spacing, like reads, just
Oh,
Like-
yeah, able to predict what move you're gonna use.
like I don't know, in the clip I posted where like I'm only forward smashing, but I know he's gonna air dodge, so I just walk back a step and wait, even though he could do a million things there. He could hit me. But because I know he expects me to forward smash fast, I just wait for like a half second and then do it. That's like what fundamentals are. It's the actual mental game. But of course you can never even get there if you don't have basic tech skill. But
True.
it's important to realize that is where the actual game is played. It's played at that level, and the other stuff just gets you there. I don't know. The other stuff are just tools that give you options to play that game, to have more options when you're playing that game. And also, like, I ran into a technical wall where there are certain like hard to cover recovery options where you have to have a mechanical skill level to be able to cover them at all. And people were able to abuse me because there were certain options I just wasn't fast enough at grabbing the ledge to cover and other
Yeah.
stuff like that, where it's like where I could know what they're doing, but I was just not good at fast enough technical to cover certain options. So and also in combo game they would realize that they could DI a certain way where I wasn't good enough at the option that covers that DI. So I started to run into a wall with just like not being you can run into a tech skill wall as well, where like, but like there's layers of like where you're running into a wall, whether it's your neutral game or your, neutral isn't a good way to, because I'm explaining more than neutral, just like general the read based rock paper scissors game.
Yeah.
But I actually towards the end I was getting better, and I was like moving into like a positive win rate player from like a neutral win rate player. For the longest time I was a negative win rate player, but it was like slowly shifting in the direction, and I started just running in the tech skill wall of covering difficult to cover options.
See, this is the reason I like Smash Ultimate, is because like there's still definitely tech and stuff you can do in the game, but like
you can
the
dash,
level,
quote unquote.
You can wave dash, but it's not.
It doesn't do fucking
good.
anything.
Unless Ridley has the best wave dash though, which is kind of funny. So keep that in mind. Anyway, just like the barrier, like immediately right off the bat, like the barrier of technical skill that you need to be able to move into the stage of the game where you're more focusing on like reads or like other fundamental stuff is so much lower than a game such as Melee.
Well, Melee is so janky, like in general. Like it takes a while to get used to just controlling it normally. Like for like a totally new player, it might be even hard to like properly do a smash attack. Much more so in Melee than it would be in Ultimate. I feel like it's a lot like cleaner.
Yeah, I thought C sticking was like cheap. Yeah, if you were really good, use the A button when I was like a kid.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was a meme too, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because it was hard to do it with the A button, so
Well,
also you
C-stick,
couldn't use the C stick in single player.
You also
so that was the real reason.
You also can't charge with the C stick. It just does like a base
you can.
smash attack.
C stick and Z button you can charge.
Really? No way.
Yep.
And it's way cooler.
I didn't know
like
that.
you can like hold out your controller while you're holding Z and charging it, and they're like, "Oh, how is he charging it?"
I had no idea about this. This is a secret tech I've never known.
Yeah.
Is Z button and C stick to charge forward smash. Oh, I notice I say like Freudian slip forward smash, not any other smash attack. It's a Freudian slip because that's the only one.
If you're playing Moit, that's all you need.
A down smash is actually pretty good. You can do some.
DI mix-ups and covering options. Yeah,
I think you
can like down throw, wave dash, like pivot down smash, like and catch someone on a tech roll, kill them off the top if it's like a puff or something. That's something I tried to practice, but I don't know if I was actually got super accurate with that. I was pretty accurate with pivot forward smash, but not with pivot down smash.
I was gone for a minute. Did you guys say who you main or like who you play?
We didn't. Let's do that.
Okay. So
not yet.
So my like main throughout each game, aside from Melee, is usually NES. I'm a NES boy. But I also in Melee I mean Marth because he's fucking cool, and he's anime and he's polygons. So yeah. Otherwise though, I play like. Yeah. I'll leave it at that, I guess.
I think I only have a main in Ultimate, and that's just Sheik because I like her playstyle of dash and attack and not being just like moving around across the battlefield and maneuvering my way to get a strike in and slowly whittling up the percentage on the opponent and then do a final strike. On the other games, I just play whichever character I feel like.
Yeah, I really like multi-hits, which is why I like NES a lot. Like, ooh, that forward air with the sparkles and all the pew pew pew. That's the best.
Yeah, I know it.
And it fucking pisses off my friends, and they hate it. They hate NES so much. And they also hate Palutena, which is another one of my favorite characters, for the same reason, because she's all fucking multi-hits. And I fucking love it. And then they say, oh, you suck at the game. You can only play NES. I'm like, fuck you, ditto right now. They can't catch my hands. They
classic
PK fire.
My only real main. I mean, I said I play as all the Pokemon, but the Pokemon that I probably played the most is Greninja.
Let's go.
Cool.
And fun little tidbit about using Greninja and everything is, when Smash 4 came out, it was like right around the time that X and Y came out, and after X and Y came out, I actually started like gaining a little bit of intrigue in the Pokemon competitive scene, but only like a little, like very, very little. So I actually went through the trouble of breeding, IV breeding, and EV training a couple Pokemon that I was very fond of, and I was doing that with the team that I used throughout X and Y. And the 3 Pokemon that I did this with that were all IV maxed and EV maxed and raised the exact way I wanted them to was Aegislash, Hawlucha, and Greninja. And Greninja was the first one to get that treatment, and ever since then, he's been like my 3rd favorite Pokemon of all time, partially due to me actually, like, he's like the first Pokemon that I actually made a competitively viable Pokemon of. And at the time, I was also really into nicknaming my Pokemon because I hadn't really done that before. And with and I was when I did my nicknames for Greninja and Aegislash, I had this really fun idea because of naming Aegislash after Greninja, because my idea was like Greninja was using Aegislash, like it was like it's this like little headcanon thing, like he would use Aegislash's sword and shield to fight. I called my Greninja for Rogane, and that was inspired off of an anime character by the name of Kurogane from Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. And then after the fact, I realized, oh my god, it literally sounds like Frog. And that's awesome. And the same character, Kurogane from Tsubasa, named his sword, I think it was like, I mean, I forget exactly what it was called, like, in Japanese, but it was basically, like, White Dragon or something like that. Like, it was just dragon and then a color for it. And so I did the same thing for my Aegislash. I just called it Blue Frog. And
I did that. I named one of my... I can't remember who it was. I think maybe, like, Lugia. I named, like, Blue Dragon or something like that.
Well, no. I didn't literally name it Blue Frog. I named it, like, the Japanese... saying for Blue Frog, and it's Aokayaru.
Word.
I'll put it in the chat so you can read it.
On the topic of Pokemon, real quick, something that has always baffled me and the internet is the fact that they don't have any fucking shiny skins for the Pokemon in Smash Bros. They've never had fucking shiny colors. Like, what the fuck? That's the first color. That's the first fucking color you would make your fucking Pikachu is the shiny. And I think in Smash Ultimate they finally did, like, Mewtwo or something has his shiny. I don't know.
See, this is where Project M got it right.
Yeah, they have some sick fucking costumes.
They did the costumes really well.
I mained when the 3DS game came out, I mained Dark Pit and Greninja. Those are my 2 mains when that game came out.
Oh man.
The one skin, like, there's like the gray skin. It's like Greninja's like gray and he has like all like the rainbow colors for like his frog pore things. it's cool.
Hey Ben, who'd you main?
Oh, I am a Samus lifer. I like shooting with my big gun hand.
You said you mostly played Brawl, right? Was that right?
No, I didn't really talk about it. I did play Brawl since it came out, because I didn't know any better. I always played, the newest Smash. But I've had a bunch of mains over the years, but it's mostly like I always come back to Samus
every day. And Smash, I think Smash Ultimate's the game where he's most competitively viable.
Maybe Melee.
I don't know how good
Samus. I don't know.
Samus was fine in Melee. You could totally be good with if you were a good player. You could play Samus. Totally viable.
Yeah, I've never been a good player. But,
not a top tier, but totally viable.
Yeah.
You do all the weird glitches with Samus and Melee.
True.
You didn't really use the glitches. She was like a fundamentally character. And
what
glitches
really... does Samus have?
There's like a thing where you can like bomb
dash.
Super wave dash.
Yeah.
Super wave dash.
You could do the extender.
Right.
That's not a glitch, but yeah, that's a whack technique.
Well, is it not a glitch though? Because like there's
no way that could be an accident. There's no way from a development standpoint.
It's a glitch in that it probably wasn't supposed to be in the game at release, or it's like a hidden feature.
Wait, is that speculation or?
It's all speculation. No one actually knows.
Nah, I would bet it's in there on purpose. But please don't play Samus in Melee, by the way.
You can say that.
Damn.
So I said in the intro I mained Falco. I've only played Melee a significant amount. When Brawl came out, you know, before we knew, I mained Meta Knight because he was the coolest one and eventually the best one and like the only good one except for, I guess, Ice Climbers and Falco. And I did say I played Bowser at that bi-weekly. I don't know why. For some reason, playing Bowser I just wanted to play Bowser. It's kind of fun, kind of funny.
Very epic.
I don't think Falco was a good choice for me. Well, I think I like Falco, but he's easy to mess up, and I messed up a lot. Even like Fox, you can't do things too fast. It's just, I feel like it's less hard to mess up. So I don't know if that was a good fit, but I played Falco.
Yeah, you can't like multi-shine. I couldn't multi-shine with Falco, but I could with Fox because you have to wait. There's like a time, like you can't super fast, or there's a weird timing difference. Like with Fox, you can just smash like B and down and or B and down and jump and just
if you do everything as fast as you can, it'll work. Falco has a 5-frame jump squat and really fast acceleration, and that's just an awkward. Like with wave dashing, how fast your character accelerates off the ground determines how bad it is if you're 1 frame or 2 frames late on the wave dash, and Falco's like one of the worst characters for that.
That makes sense why it's like easy to triangle hop.
Super easy with Marth and Luigi. Yeah, that's like it's more forgiving if you're a frame late.
Yeah, with Marth you can be super late and you still slide pretty far.
With Bowser you can like press jump and then like check your phone and
his jump squat's so bad.
It's 8 frames. It's
it
bad.
is. Isn't it the worst one in the game?
Worst jump squat, worst character.
I accidentally sent this earlier, but I meant to send it at some point. If anyone, like either in here or watching this, like wants to know how competitive Melee is, or like how the depth of Melee, watch this video. I'll probably put it in the description or something. It's like a minute long. This fucking shit. There's like 20 inputs in like 10 seconds or some shit. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Is this from like a tournament or is it?
You haven't seen this? This is.
Oh yeah, I haven't. I mean, this just looks like a clip, but I haven't seen this video.
Oh yeah, I don't think we have talked about the viral moments that made it on YouTube. Right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Heard about the one-more combo?
Can we wrap up mains?
Let me
Anyone else have names to say?
go through my mains.
Yeah, let's do that next though. That sounds good.
As mentioned before, I guess I made Sheik in Melee, although I'm bad at Melee. I also am a fan of Marth. Yeah, big sword. Anyway,
before you go to the next, before you go, okay, you go. Actually, no, I'll go because I'm just really quick. Before you go to the next topic, I think I'm gonna go. But the one last thing I wanted to say about mains, because this is like the only other thing I could say. But aside from Greninja, I also really like using Charizard, and I just do like this fun meme thing where I just call myself a stage hazard, and I nickname my Charizard Flare Blitz, and all I do is Flare Blitz everyone in the game, and it is literally the closest strategy I have to being competitively viable, because it's like the only way I kill people, just like trying to time my Flare Blitz once people are in the air. So nice. Not only is it my best strategy, it's also my most fun.
Online,
take that to a library tournament.
Online, there's some situations where Flare Blitz is unreactable. So
it is pretty.
It's a lot better online. You can punish so much shit. I hate
this. Reminds me of like when you're at a Smash Fest and you've been there for like 6 hours and then you're just like not playing seriously anymore. One of the things I would do is like 2 people would be playing and I would just pick like Peach and just hold down smash in the middle of the stage, and I would be hazard melee where it's like the goal is it's 1 person versus 2 people and they have to take all 8 stocks, but you're not allowed to do anything other than spam the same move. So you can they can just target the person that's the hazard and kill them while the other person's trying to kill them. This is like what super degenerate hours when you've just been playing for way too long and you have to make up dumbass mini games to play because you can't play seriously anymore. And so Hazard Melee, that's what this Spit Flare Blitz only sounds like. Because you would pick like a Bowser and up B or like Peach and down smash or like any character with a really big forward smash can just only hit in one direction. And so you're just the stage hazard.
It's also just so satisfying when you actually hit and it knocks people out.
I definitely am a fan of spamming only one move, like just because it's funny.
It's great.
Anyway.
So yeah. What?
Oh, I play more than Melee gamers.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to cover my other mains because I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
In Brawl, played Morris. He's cool. Also played Game & Watch. I'm a long-term fan of Game & Watch.
Game & Watch to me feels like disgusting in Melee. I couldn't do it.
In Melee, he's kind of janky,
Yeah.
but and by kind of I mean very janky. In Project M, he's really cool, but that's a different.
We never explained what like PM is, but whatever. Who cares? Fuck them.
So, in Brawl, I played Marth and some Game Watch. In Smash 4, I pretty much switched to Game Watch as my main. With I still played Marth, but it was pretty much Game & Watch. In Smash Ultimate, the game where Game & Watch is actually competitively viable. I stopped playing Game & Watch because he became a completely different character. In Smash 4, he's more of like he's an offensive character with like disjointed hitboxes and like some weird offensive options. In Smash Ultimate, he's a completely defensive character with degenerate defensive options. So I stopped playing Game & Watch and started playing Greninja. Well, first I played Inkling, then I played Greninja. And Greninja, very good, very competitively viable, really cool. I like spamming dash attacks and killing people. It's the best. Yeah.
Ultimate is definitely the most balanced. Like just about any character is pretty much viable.
It's true, but like
they have been kind of some of the DLC characters are kind of broken, but.
Well, Joker number one.
When the day Hero came out, I kid you fucking not, I killed one of my friends at 0%. I did like 70 damage and they died in one fucking hit with the, the
magic burst.
No, the lightning, like the side B lightning, fully charged.
Yeah.
He wasn't even like at the edge of the stage either. It was like fucking bizarre. But he's
Hero, what a meme character.
Hit him with the years of research.
So is Robin like actually broken? I don't know what about it.
Robin's
that like
good.
Robin's fine.
Broken.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the game. I just remember like I just what I've gained from like looking at Ultimate community or larger Smash community is they're like more sensitive to characters and more complaining, so it's hard to like weed out suss out like what are real complaints and what are just like whiny community. Well, that's something I've noticed.
There's a part of the community that's bad and complain about everything, and there's a side of the community that are competitive and still complain about everything, but then eventually after like a month they're like, I guess it's not actually broken.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's hard to suss out like what the truth is if you don't actually follow closely in Smash Ultimate. So I'm like, I remember hearing people complain about Robin, and I saw him win a tournament. It's like, well, that's also the best player, so it's hard to say. I don't know.
Anyone MKLeo plays is the best character.
Yeah, well, I mean, exactly. So it's like, well, if this guy's obviously the best player, so he's gonna pick good characters, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily broken. They're probably a top tier, but that doesn't mean they're like too good, or they're probably at least a high tier.
Because of the nature of Ultimate and all the characters being like pretty good, like some characters ranking on like tier lists is pretty much based on like the amount of professional players playing them well.
I mean, that's pretty universal with like tier lists in general, but yeah.
Well,
That's the
always
chicken
gonna
or
be
the
the
egg.
case.
well, like
Chicken or the egg, I think.
in
Yeah, fair
in
enough.
melee, well, in
like H-Box for a long time was like single-handedly like holding like Jigglypuff, and then there's like everyone's like, oh, Pikachu, whatever, and then Axe, is it Axe, right?
Yeah.
He won the Super Major, and everyone's like, oh, Pikachu's good, I guess.
I don't think anyone who knew what they were talking about said Pikachu was good after that.
Even if Axe
Well,
won,
I
like
don't know
Pikachu's
what I'm
still like
talking about,
lower
so.
tier than most characters.
Well, okay, Amsa's the best example of this for Melee, because the most generally agreed upon tier list had been like the same thing for years and not updated by like whoever we trust to do that. And then Amsa started doing stuff with Yoshi, and they bumped him up like 6 spots or something, which, you know, happened in 2015, 2016, you know, like decade and a half after the game came out. So it's like you have players that are better are more likely to use better characters. And when the more people there are showcasing a character's strengths, then like the more the community will kind of try to develop that character. That's why I think it's chicken or the egg a little bit, especially with Ultimate, where there's tons of characters and tons of new ones all the time.
In particular, in Ultimate, one character, Pikachu, is like widely considered to be like top 5 character in most tier lists, even though like there's hardly any results to back it up. But in theory, in theory, he's like super amazing. Like, his frame data is insane. Ben, you want to say something?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, he's just carried by Esam pretty much right now.
Yeah,
I don't
Esam.
know of any other Pikachu players that win anything.
Esam didn't even win anything.
By the way, is
No, he
like
doesn't,
one of the
dude.
coolest people.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
met him a couple times. He's insanely down to earth and fun to hang out with. So
Alex,
say
I
hi to
remember when
Ethan.
you introduced him as like the guy who beat Hobby at Evo because Melee players had no idea who he
dude,
was.
He's the hobby slayer. he was commentating Melee at one point. No one knew who he was, and the chat was spamming Rap God. It's one of my favorite Twitch chat moments.
Oh yeah, because he talked so fucking fast.
Yeah, he's a energetic.
He's a spat. He's a what do you call it? I can't even lateral as fuck.
He's the new type. Big new type.
Oh, that would be amazing if he was.
So, are we gonna talk about the somebody? Was it
viral moments?
Yeah, but before we transition to that, I never actually. I know you guys don't seem to care about like the roster stuff as much as I do, but I never got to input my characters there. So let me just.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you because I know you said you had 3, but you never said them.
Yeah, well, the first one is because like I agreed with whoever said Gino. I've wanted Gino for like a really long time. Because as we said, he's cool as fuck. And like those are the kind of characters that I like really like in Smash, or like those are my favorite characters that I always want to see in the game. Are like yes, there are characters obviously that are put in there for like historical value, like something like Hero from Dragon Quest. It's like Dragon Quest is like the birth of the JRPG. Like that's like a very good addition to the roster. But like my favorite like additions to Smash Ultimate were like Richter and like Terry Bogard, because those are 2 characters that like personally are from games that I really like that like otherwise would like never get. I mean there are like some new like King of Fighters and stuff games, but they're whatever. Like that's the kind of thing like normally those kind of games would not get appreciated. Like Richter is from the Japanese only Castlevania game that came out in like the mid 90s on the Japanese TurboGrafx 16. It's like that it's like that kind of thing is like you would never, if it weren't for Smash Bros, there would never fucking be ever in ever history again would there ever be a figurine that you can buy of Richter Belmont from Castlevania. That would just never happen. Yeah. And so that to me is like so cool. Like that makes me so happy. Same thing with like Terry Bogard. Like all these people were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I'm like, sick. But anyway, so the Geno, yeah. And then on that same note, there are 2 other characters that I really want. 2 of which are, one of which I think is like fairly popular, has like a relative chance. The other 2 are, well, one of them is Geno, and then the other character that I want, which is like a dream character that is probably not going to happen, but would make me go insane, and that is Reimu from Touhou. If fucking Reimu got in Smash, I would lose my fucking shit. Same thing with Geno. If Geno got in the game, I would literally cry. If Geno got in the game, I would cry. If Reimu got in the game, I would fucking cry. So yeah, like Reimu from Touhou, because I'm not even necessarily like the biggest Touhou fan in particular. Like I do like Touhou, the game specifically. Like I'm not like into like the lore or anything, because that's like a whole other thing. But specifically just because like I am a huge fan of like shoot 'em ups and bullet hell and all that shit. So, and that's like the one character that is like sort of representative of that genre, and also is a character that is, it is like, Reimu is like the original, like we were talking about, like, okay, yeah, Cave Story is like the big indie thing that like blew up, but Touhou was made by one dude, and like it's just made, it's like, it would just be insane. Like that would just be like the limit. Like that would be the absolute fucking limit of what could be in Smash Bros. If Touhou was in Smash Bros, that would be fucking insane. Like but anyways, yeah, that would be so, like, not only like would it be like the absolute furthest they could push it, like it's just this character that's made by this one guy, and there's like infinite games because he doesn't like copyright any of the characters or anything, so like anyone can make a Touhou fan game and they can sell it legally. So like that's super cool, and there's all that. So like technically, if they want to, they wouldn't even have to ask him. They could just put like Reimu in the game. But you know,
that might actually be more likely to prevent it if there's no rights to it.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I mean, Nintendo wants like at least the rights to sell them like amiibos or whatever.
Well, they could. I mean, I'm not saying like they still could do that. Is what I'm saying. Like anyone could legally right now make a Reimu figure. I mean, they would ask him, and like they would get his input, and they would. You know, they would work with Zune. He's like the Touhou guy.
Wait, but could Nintendo put things in the game that are not trademarked? Right? That's my concern or question. Because with everything else, like, they get permission from the people who own it and shit. So if there's a thing that's owned by no one, then Nintendo would be the one to own it. And they can claim...
You're, like, breathing into a mic.
I don't fucking know how it works exactly. All I know is that anyone can make a Touhou game. Like, that's all I know. Like, anyone can legally make any sort of Touhou media... Like and it's all good. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely, it's not going to happen, but it would be the coolest thing in the world.
It would have the most extreme reaction from fans of Touhou.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like,
imagine they would actually destroy their own property,
right?
Because how excited they would be.
That's the thing that makes it like cool for me, is like I know like most people, like when they saw like Terry Bogard, they didn't care that he was in the game, or most people didn't care about Richter. But the people that care about those characters, like me, the people that care about those characters would be fucking ecstatic. But anyways, yeah. So then my other last character that I really want in the game is 2B from, you know, Robot Girl with the fat ass. She, like, Nier Automata is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh yeah, Nier would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
The 2B.
So yeah, I don't really have much else to say about her though. So I guess we can transition.
Oh man.
Alright. Well, if you guys are gonna go, transition, I'm gonna go because I pretty much exhausted all I can say.
All right.
Okay.
Later, dude.
Okay.
So I'll see you guys later. Have fun.
Peace.
See ya.
Okay.
So we've been going for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
We want to do viral moments as the last topic real quick.
Sure.
Yep.
I don't really have
I
anything
mentioned
to
the
add.
Rumble Combo
to this,
moment
but-
earlier.
Uh-huh. Very
Yeah,
epic.
it's absolutely insane. Was it like actually the first viral clip of Super Smash Bros. Melee on YouTube?
It might have been the first one to get really significant recognition outside of Melee players. I don't know, but I know, like around 2013 or so, which was 5 years after or more. I think like it was becoming a thing people said in League of Legends.
Yeah.
apparently,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of them like didn't know that it was a reference, or that's what it started of.
Yeah.
Or I had a friend who told me that.
I was one of those people.
I knew a bunch of
thought it
people
was
that referenced that in
until-
reference to League, and it like triggered me because I'm a nerd.
Wombo Combo for me and Homemade Waffles videos in general were like what made me run tournaments, because like I said, me and my little school friend group had played pseudo competitively for a long time, and then Homemade Waffles starts uploading all these West Coast tournaments like with mic commentary and stuff, which there wasn't a whole lot of before, and Wombo Combo comes out and it's really exciting, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to do some more stuff with Melee again. So that was a big one for me as well.
Yeah, Wombo Combo definitely transcended like the its own medium, became just an internet meme. Like hype commentary, like D1 and like hype commentary in general is like one of the best things about like Smash. Like you get there's some very cool like Smash commentators and stuff. It's always nice. Well, now I think it's what GR Smash.
Hold on, this is
You know-
this is
you know that-
completely
Oh,
off topic. You can say your thing if you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying. You guys know GR Smash? Who does like the Smash?
GR Smash was a little bit controversial at first because people were like, "Oh, you're stealing footage," but then we stopped caring, I guess. Stabbed by a Hippie made a top 10 GR Smash videos. It was like an hour-long video, kind of satirizing that. But I get what you're saying. How the did he just walk up slowly and down Smash like commentary gave rise to viral moments. Personally, I hate all that. I hate almost all commentary. I think it's terrible and awful. But that's just me.
I mean, hype commentary can really help. It depends on the matchup. Like, there's some matchups where like you don't need commentary because the action speaks for itself. But like, I don't know. There's some people that are able to vocalize like the cooler moment. Like for someone, when I first started watching like Melee stuff, for someone who didn't really know, like, who didn't really know if a certain action was hype or not. Like, cause like, I don't know how difficult something is to perform if I don't know anything about the tech skill, right? And like, what the commentators are able to do is they're able to convey like how cool it is that like this moment's occurring because of the technical difficulty and specific circumstances behind it, that you're able to kind of pick up on like the feeling that a more experienced player watching it would already know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's useful, and I'm in a minority opinion on that for sure.
Does
Does anybody know viral moments in other games besides Melee? Because I don't. Not
The
really.
classic, Leroy Jenkins in
I think he's talking about in Smash Bros.
Oh, I misheard the question.
Definitely more. I just can't think of any of the top.
I guess I know. I posted earlier in our Discord, like a week ago or more, unrelated to this. Ocean beating Mewtwo King in Brawl. A guy from Japan who played Rob. That was a big deal. There's a famous photo, which was what I posted. I'll try and grab it again. Big pop off. I referenced Years of Research earlier, which was really funny. Salem, who is like a new game, like he played Brawl and then Smash 4 and then Ultimate, I think. He went on, he like did this shit talking thing where he said like Mango is problematic and the Melee community is he did this big long write up, and Mango is basically like, oh, he made us a bunch of money by generating all this drama, cool. But then Leffen played him in tournament and won, right? Did Leffen beat him or almost did?
Are you talking about Leffen versus Hungrybox or Leffen
versus Salem in Ultimate?
Salem.
Because this was in the wake of all that. I don't know, but it was funny. I don't even remember who won, but the whole thing was funny. I'm posting the Ocean beating Mewtwo King clip or picture, which was cool. Leffen being banned, evidence.zip, good meme. Not really a hype moment, but good meme.
Well, speaking of Leffen, I remember chilling, making a rap against Leffen and bragging about how he'll beat him and teach him a lesson, but then he ended up losing, and left him wipe the floor with Chillin, despite Chillin being so confident.
I'm trying to think of why. I feel like Chillin knew. I feel like he did that to make himself a meme and earn money, because there was no one in the world believed he had a chance of winning that. I'm sure he didn't either. So that was a weird one.
I think Chillin Dude had they have a history. Chillin Dude and Leffen in tournament, but Chillin Dude has beaten Leffen in tournament before.
Yeah, like 10 years ago,
Well,
maybe.
I don't know.
Well, also on Nate's soundboard again, because this is a PCP spinoff podcast. Sort of the easy money clip is a Melee meme.
Oh yeah,
So
Bizarro Flame. Bizarro Flame, his whole Smash career is my favorite thing. A dedicated Ganondorf main that so if you don't know, you guys all know the easy money story, right?
No idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. It comes from a money match, or they were doing this is after tournament kind of hype matches. And it was a money match between Bizarro Flame and some other guy. Alex, do you remember who the other guy in this?
It was Eichelman. It was a Ganon Ditto. I've got the link. I didn't know that off the top of my head. I only know that because I just got the link.
Yeah.
And again, this is a case of no one in the world believed Eichelman had a chance of winning this, but
someone else was supposed to play Bizarro Flame, but then they canceled it.
Oh, that's right. I forget who that was.
And then Eichelman had to step up and play Bizarro. And Bizarro Flame, for those who know, was the best Ganondorf player in Melee. And I mean, Ganondorf is not a very good character, but Bizarro Flame is able to he's a player who truly plays Melee for fun. He played it to have a good time and play Ganondorf. And the fact that he was even around and relevant in these competitive tournaments was pretty fun. And
he was sponsored by YouPorn, and he's also a lawyer. He's a career lawyer.
Was he sponsored by YouPorn? Was that Bizarro Flame?
Yeah, for a year.
Oh, let's go.
Oh.
That's hilarious. And he eventually quit Smash to continue his career as a lawyer. What an individual.
Real weird, interesting dude. Yeah, it's hilarious.
In this famous money match, they talk smack at the beginning, and just the Bizarre Flame was easy money, and it became a meme forever.
Well,
oh man,
have we milked this one? Are we dry?
We're running on fumes. Anyone else want to bring?
I wanted to say that my friend just sent me a video of this modded there's so apparently there's this Tony Hawk online game. It's Tony Hawk's Underground. It's modded version of Tony Hawk's Underground, and you can fucking play as Sephiroth, and you can grind on the fucking toys in Andy's room from Toy Story. This shit is fucking crazy. That's it.
Oh,
no, that's all.
Another character I want in Smash is Sora. Sora
yes.
from Kingdom Hearts would be sick.
See, the thing about that one is everyone says oh, what if they just do Sora and they just don't do the Disney stuff? Because Disney would probably cuck Nintendo hardcore out of dollar bills. But you can't have Sora without fucking Goofy and Donald. You can't do that.
I think Disney has already basically said no.
It's not even Disney, Square also.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Square is also a huge fucking wall. Cloud was the last character they got for Ultimate. Their whole thing was they wanted to get every character back, and Cloud was the hardest one for them to get because Square is a bunch of stingy fucking assholes. That's the same reason why there are two. Maybe they added one more. I think there are two. Yeah, there are two songs that, represented from Final Fantasy. 2. That's fucking it.
Pretty pathetic.
Yeah, because Square is gay.
And there's only one Cloud sticker, Spirit. Like no other characters are shown
Yeah.
at all. They don't exist.
Oh, man. Anyway, should we wrap it up here? What
I
do you
guess we're
think?
done.
Yeah.
You with your
Done.
ears, if you're listening to this right now, you are based God because you made it all the way to this part of the podcast. You tread through a lot of shit to get here.
A lot of gaming history.
Yep.
No comments. No.
Oh
Yep.
wait.
No comments.
Oh
whatsoever.
lol.
Yeah, we don't have any new ones. We have new subscribers though, so leave comments. those of
Comment
you that-
on our
Any
fucking
comments
videos.
will be appreciated, even if you call us bad the game.
We'll read it
We'll
on
appreciate it.
podcast.
Can confirm am bad.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
All right, bye everybody.
Peace. Goodbye. See you next week.